Weapon Stereotypes, Episode 10, The Spy, by SoundSmith.
The Spy is one of those classes that I really wish was less cool on paper. You know, he's so appealing to everyone that most new players instantly gravitate towards him, leading to most pub servers being filled with a bunch of spies who don't even know how the disguise kit works and just run at people trying to butter knife them. On the other hand, though, a good spy can be the biggest nuisance your team has ever come across in the entirety of their time playing TF2. I feel like the Spy is one of those classes with the biggest difference between a terrible player and an amazing player. Except maybe Sniper. Anyway, as always, stereotypes don't apply to everyone. This series is heavily exaggerated for the sake of comedy. Don't take it seriously. Blah, blah, blah. Disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea, right? Okay, let's go.
I can tell he's definitely gotten a lot of blowback from people. It's like, I feel like he's definitely gone through the ringer.
The stock revolver is kind of amazing. It's the perfect example of consistency and can put out really decent damage if you know how to use it properly. It kind of sucks then that it's completely overshadowed by the ambassador. You'd think the stereotype for this would be people using this can't aim, you know, since otherwise they'd be using the ambassador. But I've found that a spy who actively uses the stock revolver can hit shots way more consistently than most ambi spies. Unless you're me. I'm the exception to this one. I just can't aim.
Yeah, I feel that. Same. I can't hit crap.
This is an insanely good utility and probably my most used revolver for spy, but once again, it's completely overshadowed by the ambassador. This guy knows every ammo location on every map and will probably stay invisible for 90% of the match, even if he isn't using the cloak and dagger. Because of this, though, he probably takes similar routes every single life and will very often fall into the trap of spy time. He also struggles with using other revolvers since he's used to that increased amount of cloak. If the other team has one of these guys, try to keep track of when they spawn and make sure to randomly spy check hallways, corners, and choke points every now and then. I guarantee you'll piss them off pretty quickly.
I love Spy. He's such an interesting
This weapon is actually
class.
really good. Some would even call it overpowered. I mean, hell, you get free crits just for doing things a spy should be doing anyway. People who use the Diamondback recognize this and abuse the hell out of it. Fortunately, though, it's once again overshadowed by the ambassador. It's a good thing most spy mains are too busy jerking it to VODs of Akuma, otherwise the Diamondback would be a way more common choice and would be
That poor Heavy left his back wide open. That was free real estate. Come on.
even more annoying of a problem than it already is. As it stands, though, if you see a spy with a Diamondback, just be prepared for bullshit, because there is an approximately 75% chance that halfway through your fight with him, some random dispenser across the map will finish sapping and he'll get a crit out of nowhere.
I feel like that's definitely been a frustrating 1v1 for many people, where he just gets the random crit out of nowhere and the crit actually finishes you off in that fight, only for him to taunt in the kill cam. I feel like this has happened a non-zero amount of times.
You know, I would say this is overshadowed by the ambassador, but that kind of implies that it has good qualities to begin with. Well, I mean, I guess it used to be really good, but now its primary upside is bugged and only works in about half of its intended use cases, so now it's just a shittier stock revolver. If you see a
I wonder if this got, like, because we're talking about bugs, I wonder if this got fixed. This probably got fixed down the line.
by using the Enforcer, he's probably just going on a little nostalgia trip, reminiscing about the days when it was stupid OP, or he's just got a Crits Creek medic pocketing him, which I have to admit is pretty fun.
Wild. Yeah, and chat, the Enforcer is a gun that exists. Like, yes, fair enough. Oh my god. The following is a completely accurate interpretation of people arguing. The ambassador is like,
Alright, court is now in session. Honorable Judge SoundSmith now presiding.
Hey guys, sit down. I don't call me honorable. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here. Okay, now calling for the record the case of pretentious spy mains v. everybody else, civil case number 102. Counsel,
ready.
please identify yourselves for the record.
I'm Maxbox on behalf of the plaintiff.
I'm Spurgy on behalf of the defense.
I hear this soundtrack and I just think of the egg dog meme, just rotating round and around and around.
Okay, excellent. Are there any housekeeping matters that we need to take care of before the trial starts?
Yes, Your Honor. As the representative of skilled spy mains everywhere, we request to be given double the time for the defense for opening statements. According to Article 264,933-C, the time allotted for opening statements should be directly proportional to the average skill of the represented groups.
Objection! First of all, that's fucking stupid. Second of all, that's not even a real law.
Well, it should be. You're not even using the ambassador. That obviously means you can't aim worth a damn.
Just because you use a gun that can headshot doesn't mean you can actually hit them. I bet you couldn't even hit the broadside of a barn with that thing. What is...
I've actually missed broadside barn shots with weapons like this. Like it's not an exaggeration. I'm bad at games, dude.
An Australian ambassador with 5,000 kills on it. Your headshots
Bro, how much time goes into a gun like that, though? How many hours is that?
part isn't even past 100.
I just put on that part yesterday. Thank you very much.
What, just
All I'm
because you
saying is
think
that
that
if
you
you're not
can
using the ambassador,
maybe hit one or two
clearly
headshots
not a
means you can
spy.
drop a
guys,
head?
No,
that's not it
The
at
trial
all.
hasn't even started yet. Are you serious right now? So this is by far one of the most divisive stereotypes I've ever covered. About 50% of the comments I read and people I talked to said that the ambassador is a weapon for the most skilled of skilled spy mains, and everyone who uses it should be regarded as a god amongst men. And the other 50% said that it was a huge war pig, so everyone who uses it thinks they're a god amongst men, but in reality can't hit the broadside of a barn. I've honestly never seen such an even split for a stereotype before. I think what it boils down to is that if somebody uses the ambassador religiously, then their opinion falls into the first category, but more often than not, their actual skill will fall into the second category. On the other hand, if someone doesn't use the ambassador 100% of the time, then they know how to play to their strengths, but they also probably struggle with aiming and hitting headshots. One thing that's for sure though is that if you see an ambassador spy, he's absolutely going to try to use it on you and get those sick frag video clips.
I mean, I think this is one of those I'll probably honestly go to stock instead of staying on ambassador, because I have mine currently equipped right now. I think the thing that gets with me is I psych myself out because I know it's a crit weapon, therefore I want to try to line up that crit, and without enough skill, right? Because spy is very high skill floor and skill ceiling. Without enough of a skill ceiling with predictions and stuff, I feel like I'm just going to do strictly worse with that. I might as well just go stock, honestly. Like, I feel that trying to hit the headshots is going to mess me up way more when I could just go for consistency with stock, right? That's kind of that's really where I'm coming from. Old Ambassador had headshots with no bullet drop off, which got nerfed. Diamondback can get 102 damage crits just for doing what Spy is supposed to do anyways. So it seems like the Diamondback versus Ambassador argument is there for all intents and purposes. I did get that was an Ace Attorney bit. I really liked the entirety of that bit.
Okay, let's be real. 90% of spies use the stock sapper or some reskin of it. This is because the only other option is kind of terrible. So, there's honestly not that much of a stereotype for this one. The research I did was largely inconclusive since everyone basically said something to the effect of, this guy is smart enough to not use the red tape recorder. So there are two types of red tape recorder spies. Those who don't know what it does and those who realize that it fucking sucks. Okay.
Bro, I have no idea what this thing does. I didn't even know it existed. Why are you just not using Sapper? I hear like being able to take out a sentry is kind of tech.
In all honesty, this is sorta, kind of, maybe useful in two situations. One is fighting mini-sentry NGs. Most gunslinger NGs just let a sapper run its course. I mean, hell, after you're done, you can just slam down another one really easily, so, like, why even bother? Because of this, a sapper that takes longer to complete can actually work to your advantage, since the total uptime of his mini is gonna be lower. Okay, number two is suicide plays. You know the ones. The ones where you're on CTF2 fort and there are 50 billion NGs all.
How do you get to this point? Like, how do you crack this board, dude? What do you do here? I'm assuming you just get a couple good demos, right? Couple good demos, yeah, I guess spy sappers, right? I don't know how you crack this.
Turtling with level 3s in the intel room, and every time you go down there, you just get instantly shut down because there are just so many NGs all hunting you down and there's nothing you can do. The regular sapper just makes buildings lose health, so a couple of swings of the wrench will undo that in a heartbeat. But in this situation, at least the red tape recorder does something. I mean, it'll at the very least degrade each building you sap by one level, and it's easier for your team to deal with 50 billion level 2 sentries than it is for them to deal with 50 billion level 3 sentries.
So on completion of whatever it does, it lowers them a full level? Yeah, I just... This is one of those... It's literally me looking at a Yu-Gi-Oh card and being like, okay, but this could be useful in like 3 specific situations. But otherwise, why are you just not using the thing that is strictly better, right? Also, I mean, in terms of like movement economy as well, because Team Fortress 2 is very... very heavy on movement tech. Not even the spy has movement tech, right? Just like being able to drop a sapper and leave, right, is pretty tech because you stay alive by not staying in one place, right? I don't know. Like this one's a strange one. It basically makes a building unbuild itself once it reaches 0. It destroys it. But does it slower than the sapper? Wait, what do you, for a room like that, what do? Do you like duo red tape recorder spy and try to like maximize that? This is such a weird item for me. I feel like the big brain plays are there, but you're most likely going to default to sapper.
Plus, it's annoying as hell to deal with since it's a huge time waster. So in those two very specific situations, it's maybe useful. Otherwise, It just sucks. So if you see a red tape recorder spy, chances are he's either clueless or just trying to annoy the engineers.
I mean, it's honestly cool because I didn't even know this existed, right? So, like, this is really cool to watch, like, knowing it exists, right? Like, if there is a situation that comes up where you have to do a team push into like an actual like engineer nest, it is an option. You can be like, okay, this exists though. Let's try it out. Like I now know a thing.
Like most stock weapons, the knife is a jack-of-all-trades kind of deal. Most spies using this are not trying to do one specific thing, and they're not trying to counter one specific thing. They're just playing spy. I have noticed that Australian knife spies tend to take themselves way too seriously, though. Just a kind of random trend I noticed when it came to the comments on the last video. Anyway, if you see a stock knife spy, just be prepared for anything. And by anything, I mostly mean them trying to butter knife you a lot, but, like, also some other stuff, I guess. I don't know. So this is a reskin, but it has a really widespread stereotype, so I'm gonna go over it separately. This guy is the oh-so-popular 13-year-old Assassin's Creed fanboy. This guy thinks he's really cool and takes himself very seriously.
I actually kind of hate the POV, like the arm and the blade interacting with it. Something about it, just my brain doesn't quite like it.
The problem is, nobody else takes him seriously. He also probably has one of those Assassin's Creed-style trench coats in real life that doesn't look nearly as cool on him as it did in the promotional images. In TF2, you'll see these guys wearing the Dashin the Assassin's Creed hat most of the time, and they'll very frequently go for huge leaping trick stabs. You know, I actually met a guy once who would mic spam an ear rape version of the Eagle Screech from the Assassin's Creed games every time he would jump off of a high place.
Bro, I'm about to kick that man, please. Oh my god, no. I hated this. I haven't had to deal with this since Xbox 360 era. I miss a lot about it. There are certain things that I don't miss.
It was really stupid, but it was also pretty funny. I just wish I hadn't told KJ about this, because now he's taken to using the sharp dresser a lot and doing that exact thing.
Just make it the what is a kilometer meme? Do that.
This guy puts way too much faith in his disguise. Sadly, disguises really aren't as good of a tool as they once were, since they just don't fool that many people anymore. Not even the instant disguise that this weapon offers is really convincing. You'll often see these guys jumping in and going for huge chain stabs on the payload, only to find that nobody's buying their disguise and either dying or just popping their dead ringer to get out.
So actually, on that subject, on that play, so we're looking here, right? Like, so the spy has been sussed out for all intents and purposes, right? They don't know where he is, but they know the spy's in the vicinity,
payload,
right?
only to find that nobody's buying their disguise. These guys jumping in and
right, so we come to, I'm assuming it's a pyro.
going for huge.
He shows his back, but this is, I think, really clever, because he shows his back momentarily.
Chain stabs on the
and then he turns around. I feel like he tried to bait out the spy, potentially, because he knew at the end of the hallway and up above his team was there. Like, that, honestly, I feel like that was a really interesting play to try to bait him out.
Payload, only to find that nobody's buying their disguise and either dying or just popping their dead ringer to get out.
Bad device can work. It's just not foolproof thing. I mean, nothing the spy does is foolproof, to be fair. Like, there's a high skill floor to make it work, and there are situations like, I mean, I'm sure there's situations, I'm sure many people have run into teams where a spy would not have worked or cannot work because the team just, they're expecting it, right? Or they're just that tight. I mean, sure, like a good spy can absolutely do they can do great stuff. I think it is one of those classes where genuinely sometimes it might not be an answer. Like, it might not actually work. It's the Naruto, that's the one.
So, the connivance kunai. It's primarily being used by people that appreciate the self-sustain it can give you as a reward for careful positioning and timing. Okay, who am I kidding? This is a SoundSmith video. Alright, see those spies? Yeah, those right there. Jama Chapeau, stereotype, die-hard trick stabbers that worship the ambi.
Sure.
Yeah, those guys love the kunai. 2 reasons. Number 1 is pretty obvious. Number 2.
We're gonna see if that gets copyrighted. Naruto specifically gets copyrighted a little bit. The Storm Connections, how you have the like use your anime opening mode, right? Like that got copyrighted really hard. It's one of those it's like I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh's also been getting a weird one right now. Like TGS anime reactions have been getting absolutely slammed by a Japanese claimant right now. It's wild to watch.
They think that with the kunai and Deadringer, they're pretty much invincible while trick stabbing a whole team.
Sure.
Look, this is what they think they look like. This,
the epic
however,
comp
is how they actually look like about 99% of the time.
I'm afraid not.
Oh,
I won't
yes.
claim that the kunai is an actual war pig, but
perfect.
hell, if the ambassador gets the gun spot for a war pig, then this one right here is the knife among them.
Wire had a rework in Jungle Inferno where you couldn't use a disguise kit at all. Now you can, but it requires a full cloak meter and it'll consume it on disguise. Interesting. So that got reworked. I don't know. Like the kunai seems interesting. Unironically, I've actually used the big earner more than I've used the kunai, which is probably going to surprise a lot of people. Like, sure, I talk about Naruto, not only like the series, but like how I used to play the actual like card game, right? I still have Pain literally built over there, along with my jank like fire, lightning, water, like Leaf Council, like shenanigans, right? Like dude, it's jank. I love it though. I don't know, like something about the kunai just doesn't speak to me. Like the big earner I've used a lot more.
Is Ethan. Ethan, you're zoomed by Tim Allen.
No, go away. I don't want to be zoomed by Tim Allen.
You had 5 health.
No.
If only I could aim the revolver.
Stop chasing me with your zoom by Tim Allen. Go away.
No fucking joke. I had a dream last night where I broke a kid's toy and I had to buy him a new one.
Oh yeah?
You broke his Zoom by Tim Allen DVD.
No, what happened was okay, Tim Allen had to do with it.
Wait, really?
Yes, I'm not even fucking with you. Due to all of
Oh my
our
God.
shenanigans last night. So what happened was I broke a kid's toy. So I had to break into a compound,
How is he
a drug
jumping?
dealer's compound to get to the only
Oh, he's playing Scout.
Oh my
ATM in
God.
the area
Wait,
to buy the kid a new
Okay.
toy because they wouldn't accept my card.
so what does Tim Allen have to do with this?
Just wait, it gets
Tim
better.
Allen. It's Tim Allen's compound.
Yes, it's Tim
Oh my
Allen.
God.
And he's the drug lord.
Hey, you want some of that zoom?
I'm not even fucking with you. I'm not even fucking
KJ,
with
go
you.
away. No,
He wouldn't
KJ,
speak.
KJ,
This
stop.
is the best part, right?
KJ, go
I
away.
went down with a back to you.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Fuck off.
Like, you guys might be thinking I'm joking. I'm not. This is completely serious. This did happen in my dream. He
Okay.
also didn't speak English. He only talked in grunts. So he was like, so Tim Allen was a fucking Neanderthal drug dealer who would just talk in grunts going, "Arr, arr, 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 arr."
That's my chance.
No, I got zoomed by Tim Allen.
I love how that whole bit culminated with he got zoomed by Tim Allen. That was actually, I was wondering where they were going to go with that. That was peak.
That's
And I'm
so
gonna tell you
great.
something that, and then all I knew was that I ran into him. He just talked in grunts, and then the dream ended. That was the first time in my entire life that I woke up laughing.
My
How does that
God,
happen?
that is incredible.
How does a dream make you wake up laughing? I
Can we like
dreamt
have
so
this
much this
conversation?
morning.
Can we just like have like for the freaking bigger stereotype? Can we just like literally just like
Yes.
have this conversation just be recorded?
Yes.
And
I'm
you
gonna
start
do
laughing.
it.
It's like get ready.
You think I'm not gonna do it, but I'm gonna fucking do it, dude.
I kind of love it.
I know that probably didn't make.
I feel like it's a whole lot of nothing. Like Big Earner talks a big game, but there's definitely a detriment to it, and it's funny when it goes off. That's what I got out of that. I don't even remember the Zoom by Tim Allen joke from his man's guide. I don't even remember it.
Any sense whatsoever, but I promised I'd put it in, so there you go. Okay, so the big earner tends to be used by spies who really like going for chain stabs or spies who have trouble getting away after they get a single stab. It's really not that common of a choice to see since it puts you below the 100 damage threshold, meaning you can be one-shot by soldiers, demos, and scouts. So
Yep.
usually big earner spies will be either completely clueless and just give you free kills for the most part, or they're comfortable enough with their acting, movement, and cloak management to get that first stab.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm kind of awful at it. Like I'm kind of I should probably go to, if I'm gonna be playing spy. I mean, obviously it'd be like ambassador, big earner, but I was trying dead ringer, but you don't get an actual like cloak with it. So I took that off for actual just base cloak. I'd probably go back to stock though. Stock revolver, especially when I'm aiming for body shots. Stock revolver and big earner just seems like it's there. Reasonably, if I'm playing correctly, I shouldn't need the extra HP anyways. Is how I view it.
This guy just hates pyros. You know, come to think of it, there are a lot of weapons that seem to be designed specifically to counter pyro.
Which is actually interesting, considering, if I remember correctly, before the pyro update, which dropped sometime after the series, right? Pyro used to be pretty bad. I don't know if that's the right word for it. So it's actually really interesting to see how much pyro hate there is.
Anyway, another thing to keep in mind is that this guy is gonna get tons of face stabs on you. I've heard rumors that it actually has a slightly longer range than the other knives. Not like Islander levels of range, but it's just enough to get face stabs way more than other knives. Now, I didn't really find anything to support this. I just heard a couple people mentioning it offhand, but I have noticed that I do tend to get face stabbed more against this. Of course, according to Spysicle Spies, it wasn't a face stab. It was an over-under C2C Matador stare corner random Latin word they threw in so people would think they're smart stab. You just need to get good, obviously.
So it sounds like it gives you afterburn immunity, but you lose the knife when you get burned. So it consumes it and thus has to recharge. I mean, it seems neat. It's a neat bit of tech. Yeah, for a class that was really terrible in the past, there seems to be a lot of pyro hate.
This is another one of those items that I have to go over, even though literally everyone uses this. There's not really
what is stock revolver's flat damage? Is it actually 51?
A stereotype associated with the disguise kit itself, except maybe Spy Crab, but I guess we can go over the two most obvious types of people associated with disguises in general. First, we've got this guy. I don't think he's quite figured out that his cunning and masterful plan of disguise as scout and run straight at the entire enemy team isn't really fooling anyone. And then we've got this guy who just graduated at the top of his class in the fucking Daniel Day-Lewis School of Method Acting. Despite the fact that disguises are generally a pretty crappy tool, he somehow manages to fool everyone. I don't know.
I've done that a couple times. Because the enemy team had a pyro. I think this was during our first community stream. They went pyro. There was a couple of them on the team, and then when one of them swapped off, I actually swapped to pyro with this guy's kit. I fooled a few people as an idiot spy. I fooled a few of them, which was really fun to watch. But then I got sussed out, and then obviously it doesn't work.
Oh, I guess the only time disguises stick out is if they're hilariously bad or terrifyingly good.
At max ramp. I don't know what the max ramp is.
Same deal here, actually. Stockwatch spies are usually either really bad or really good. Since it's a stock weapon, you'll probably see a lot of these guys bumping into everyone, running out of cloak at horrible times, and just generally doing everything they can to get discovered. But good
I'm pretty sure I actually have. I think I have stock on.
Good Stockwatch spies? Oh man, don't even bother trying to catch these guys. They know exactly where you're gonna go and how to avoid you, and can perfectly maneuver through an entire team of enemies without being discovered. I'm still pretty bad at this myself, but one of the most satisfying things to do as spy is to escape certain death with your own movement and skill, and not by just pressing right click and being halfway across the map instantly.
I feel like I just need to do an entire stream where I play nothing but spy, especially because people would know I'd be coming as a spy. I feel like playing under pressure and playing with that expectation might actually force me to play the game better.
We now return to our feature presentation, Inside the Mind of a Cloak and Dagger Spy.
Oh man, lately I've just been having so much trouble staying alive as spy. Whenever I cloak and try to get to safety, my cloak runs out, revealing my thick yet fragile body. The other pocket watch thing doesn't even make me invisible when I open it. I think it's broken. But on the bright side, I found this other watch that allows me to wait in one spot until the exact precise time for me to strike. I can literally stand in one spot and only move if someone's gonna accidentally walk into me. I can't get killed if the enemy never sees me.
This guy's playstyle is much more slow and methodical than most other spies, and by that, I mean he's gonna be in the same friggin' corner for the entire match. Lots of cloak and dagger spies have trouble managing their cloak with other watches, so they'll spend a lot of time standing still and recharging their watch in a hotly contested area.
I think this is the thing that's been messing with me, is knowing the distance, like knowing the actual distance to actually doing a proper backstab. as well as you holding your knife in a different way to actually signal it. That's been the thing that's been messing me up more than anything.
It's also why most of the time you find a cloaked spy with this watch, your first reaction is probably going to be something along the lines of, what the hell were you even doing there? Regardless, this weapon is pretty fun to use when you're messing with people, and it's nice when you're up against a team that's...
What do you do with this? Like, come on now, you can't be the spy that's gonna gank that. Look at that. Come on. He's clearly a friendly.
Pretty aware, and you need to pick and choose your time to decloak carefully. You're still not gonna get that much done, though.
I'm sorry, did that freeze him on hit too? That wasn't mentioned in the spycicle section. Does it actually freeze? What? That's nutty!
Oh boy. Oh man, where do I even start with this thing? Okay, hang on, I've got an idea. Fuck this weapon. The Dead Ringer is one of the most hated weapons in all of TF2, surpassing even the reserve shooter. Nearly every single person I talked to said that this weapon was a huge crutch for spies who have no game sense and can't stay alive on their own. While I'm not sure if it fits the technical definition of a crutch or not, most
technical definition is going to be 1 and 2. Something that helps bad players but hinders good players, not viable high levels of play. Something is used as sort of training wheels to compensate for lack of skill, ultimately hindering the player in the long run. I think I fall under 2, right? Like I had Dead Ringer on it first. Died, I think, once. Someone said that it doesn't give you a proper cloak either, and I'm just like, nah, I'll just play actual spy. I think if I have to look at it fairly, you should learn how to play spy first. Me included in this. I should learn how to play spy first, then I can augment it with Dead Ringer, especially in its current nerf state, right? I feel if you Dead Ringer first, it ends up turning into a situation like is said number 2. Like it's that training wheels. It's those training wheels, but you never actually get to learn how spy is played, at least in a proper manner, and you kind of hurt how your end game looks. Like you start playing unable to actually play spy without Dead Ringer. I think it's really interesting.
Most Dead Ringer spies you run into will definitely be using it as one. That is to say, they don't try and be tricky and feign their own death at all. They just run straight into the entire enemy team and use it as a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's a safety net, essentially. Fortunately, though, it's getting nerfed into the ground in the Pyro update, or at least it was going to be based on the balance changes that were released a few months ago, which is...
I know it did get nerfed. I don't know what severity it got nerfed. I think it's still pretty popular, though.
A huge relief. Now, I'm sure there are going to be a bunch of spy mains defending this thing religiously in the comment section, and I'm sure they're going to say something along the lines of, but SoundSmith Spy needs this watch because he's such a bad class, SoundSmith, or whatever, right? But I, for one, want to have a class be viable without having to give him this annoying piece of shit. Fuck this weapon. It's not even good. It's just annoying. Fuck. Can't wait for this thing to get nerfed into the ground so that bad spy mains actually have to rely on their game sense instead of just using this shitty fucking... Fuck, I'm done. No, I'm done. Fucking done, dude.
This was either like the best acted bit I've seen in a hot minute, or that is actual genuine anger at the Dead Ringer. I don't know which it is, but I'm here for it. Like the old Dead Ringer sounds like it was wild. Yeah, I mean, like at that, it depends what the usage on it was. Like if it's going to be the auto pick or it's going to be an auto pick because of how good and oppressive it is. Yeah, something like that needs a nerf, right? Couldn't you technically make the argument for the Uber saw though? Like this exact same argument where I guess I don't know. It can't be the same argument because they do completely different things, right? I mean, sure, on melee kill, you get the 25% Uber, right? But if it almost becomes an auto pick, right? Like, yeah, that's when things start to get nerfed, right? That's what like you can't have something genuinely be best in slot, right? Even stock, right? Where like stock demo, right? At least you still have the ability to have different weapons, right? You can even change the style completely with demo night. So Old Dinger is annoying as hell. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it really deserved the nerf at the end of the day. The base. The silent outro. letting all the spy mains defending the Dead Ringer think on their actions. I love it. Uber saw is good doesn't really change how the class is played as other melee slots aren't as used. But like it becomes almost an auto pick because of that 25% Uber charge. You actually think I was going to keep recording after that? Nope. It's too good. Like, no, it doesn't change the whole... It's just a strict upgrade, though, from base, from stock. I don't know, but then I'm also, one, a dingus on the internet, and two, I also don't have enough playtime to really say one way or the other. So, like, at the end of the day, this is something that the TF2 community, especially, you know, people who play at higher levels, I mean, they're going to have those discussions, right? And I leave it to them, right? I'm an outsider coming in and learning. Random frame of text at the end that you probably thought contained an important message of some kind. Maybe a tease about the next Stereotype series. Sorry, this block text utterly and entirely pointless. You know what? I'll take that on the chin, though. I thought it was great. This was really good. This is a really cool video. And it was really cool to see some of that genuine rage and sentiment towards the Dead Ringer. And I think this is honestly going to really shift how I play Spy a little bit, honestly, knowing about a couple different things in the kit. Because Spy definitely has that high skill ceiling, but it also has that high skill floor. And I think working under pressure is going to be how I'm going to have to do it. Probably going to swear off the Dead Ringer for the time being as well, just because I would like to actually learn the class before getting into such a controversial item. But what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the series? Do you enjoy this as much as I did? Because I got a lot of enjoyment out of this. Hopefully you did as well. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next video, next series even.